Coach Matt Zedaker Show brought to you by Community Funeral Home. A tough home loss in the season opener last week in Childersburg. And Coach, just too many mistakes to overcome against a Fayetteville team. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it was a game of missed opportunities for sure. You know, felt like we left a few turnovers out there on the field. Got to squeeze the ball a little bit better, and then just, you know, some missed snaps, some typical first game miscues. But you know, I like our kids fight. We fought 4 quarters. We gave ourselves a slim chance there at the end to try to get tied up. But you know, we're not into moral victories. We wanted to win that game, and so we're going to try to make some big improvements this week. See what we can do tonight.
You made a stop right at the end of the first half. Mm-hmm. You feel good going in at halftime with a chance to really get the game swinging back your way.
Yeah, we did. Well, I think rewind before that big stop, we had a big kickoff return.
Yeah. That
swung the momentum right back to us. And then that was a huge stop because they go up actually 3 scores right there if they go. So that was big for our kids, big to try to make that stop right there and get it. And just, again, we come out in first series and have an opportunity. We have a pick in our hands, and you know, give Fayetteville credit. The kid came and stripped it out of our guys' hands. But you know, just a miscue here, a running an alley the wrong way, missing a outside edge contain, and like I said, give Fayetteville credit. They got a good football team, and we just came up a little short.
What went well for Childersburg?
Yeah, I think you know, in spurts our offense looked really well. You know. We're not built right now to be able to have a bad snap and kill a drive. But when we didn't have that or dropped the ball, you know, I thought we moved the ball well. Offensive line came off good at times. I thought our young quarterback, J.J. Davis, for his first career start, varsity start, you know, had a heck of a game. He had over 100 yards rushing and passing. You know, Tay Fairman had a really good game offensively for us and defensively. And so, you know, there's a lot of things we can build on. Defensively, in spurts, we flew the ball, but tackling was atrocious. We didn't tackle real well. And so we've addressed a lot of those situations that we got to fix this week. And, you know, they say you make your biggest improvement from your first game to your second game. And so, you know, we're not banging on that, but we'll show our counting on
it. It looked at times like both teams were tired, but Childersburg kept going. They kept working hard. Who were some players that stood out in that game against Fayetteville for you?
Yeah, I think I mentioned J.J. Davis and then Tay Fairman. Those 2 guys really stood out offensively, scored some points for us. Caden Chambliss had a big kickoff return for us, had a big touchdown to get it cut down to 1 score. Defensively, I thought Luke Duffy, our outside linebacker, had a really good game for us. He actually came in on that goal line stand and got the legs of that kid coming off the edge, and we were able to get a push right there. You know, and so those are 3 or so kids that had a good game.
Penalties.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to be able to control our emotions. You know, we had some key penalties that cost us, allowed them to score. You know, we had 1 penalty. We would have had them 3rd and 14 on their 4-yard line, and our emotions got the best of us. We got a little push and match. Same thing on another drive. We had a kid that we got the personal foul on the Fayetteville guy, and we reacted to it. And so, you know, that's just emotions. We got to be able to control. We got to be able to control the things we can control, and that's our emotions. But you know, again, we address that. We have some reminders of why we don't need those type of penalties this week, and so they got a good dose of that. So hopefully we'll see a big change this week.
I noticed you on the sideline, kind of animated at times.
Well, listen, I'm going to fight for these kids and fight for our team, but you know, there's some times too where you know, those things that we can control a lot of times. Personal fouls, things like that, we can't accept. If it's a effort foul, sometimes I can overlook that.
You go back to work Monday. And got Talladega tonight on a short work week. Yep. What have you seen of Talladega?
Very extremely fast, athletic, in their 2nd year with Coach Dorsey. So you know, they're running his system a lot better. Been in a full year in the weight room with them. He takes a wing tee concept and kind of mixes it with a spread concept. He's going to give us multiple formations offensively. He'll give some unbalanced looks, some empty looks, some wing tee looks. defensively, they fly around, they get to the ball, and they are dangerous on special teams. You know, we're going to be really good of trying to keep the ball away from their playmakers. I think their special teams kept them in that game, gave them a chance to win last week against White Plains. So listen, we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. We're going to have to line right. You know, we're going to have to know our assignments. We're going to have to tackle a lot better than we did last week. You know, we're going to have to gang tag on, hem them up, and try not to give the explosive play up. You know, if they're going to score, we need to make them earn it.
With the offensive scheme that Talladega runs, how much pressure does that put on a defense?
Somewhat, you know, but we have checks for everything that they're going to do. You know, the defense is really, if you can get a line like you're supposed to and they get off the ball, you know, then it becomes, you know, a matter of will, you know, what kind of guts you got to go make a play. But it does. There's some different checks. He's doing some shifting out of some formations that we've really worked on. And, you know, being a short week, you got to accelerate everything. We just kind of moved our work week back. We practiced on Sunday, and so that was our Monday. But, you know, you hope that the change in the routine doesn't throw us off kilter too much. We try to stay in routine as much as possible.
A lot of people have asked why a Thursday night game so early in the season.
Yeah, a lot of people think we did it because of the Auburn game.
That's not so, surely.
But it's not. No, actually, Coach Dorsey actually has a son that plays football at Bob Jones High School, and their senior night is Friday. Mm-hmm. So he asked, you know, if there's any way we could move it so he could go watch his son. He don't get to see him play on his senior night. And, you know, I felt I obliged that. I would hope someone would do that for me if I had that situation. So we bumped it to Thursday, and it just so happened to work out okay.
Attitude of this Childersburg Tiger football team, everybody wants to win. Yeah. Childersburg needs to win. They're hungry for a win. Yeah. What about this Childersburg team as far as their attitude is concerned?
Yeah, they're good. You know, listen, you know, I think we came back in on Sunday and we looked at the film and they realized, man, we were that close from winning that game, if not winning it handily. But again, I'm gonna give a lot of credit to Fayetteville. But they're hungry. They're excited to get on the field again tonight and say, hey, what we put on the field as a product last week wasn't everything that we can do, you know. And so they want to correct these mistakes, and they are hungry. You know, it's time to get Childersburg back on the map, and we got an opportunity tonight to start.
People have asked me this week at least twice, how does Coach Zedaker discipline those people that need to be disciplined?
Yes.
Or is that a secret?
Well, yeah. I mean, every coach has the way they do. But listen, we're going to love on them. We're going to explain to them their mistakes. You know, we're going to show them their mistakes. But we got to hold them accountable. You know, sometimes if you got to discipline a child, it hurts you a little bit. Mm-hmm. But in the big scheme of things, they realize you're doing it out of love, and you're doing it out of, you know, to make them a better person, make them a better football player. So there's a lot of ways we do it at practice and after practice, but you know, at the end of the day, just let them know you care about them and you love them, and here's why we're doing it, and let's be a better football team.
So finally, what do you hope that your team has learned from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, missed opportunities. You know, when you have an opportunity to make a play, we've got to make it. We can't. There's only a few set of those opportunities in a game, and the teams that take advantage of them typically win the game, and so. You know, just a little bit more focus, you know, and you got the first game jitters out of the way. We're into the season now, and so let's just settle down. Let's play football. Let's try to be as mistake-free as we possibly can.
Childersburg at Mary Dumas Stadium tonight in Talladega against the Talladega Tigers. Both teams winless so far on the season, 0-1. We thank Coach Matt Zedaker for being with us. And, Coach, always a pleasure. Good luck tonight, and let's get a W.
Let's go. Go Tigers.
All right. Coach Matt Zedaker, head football coach of the Childersburg Tigers, brought to you by Community Funeral Home. More Daybreak in a minute.